anyway, listen, I thought we had a great night of fights. I mean, you know, there's some wars out there, and some people are going to the hospital, so they're not going to be available tonight. But I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have. It's just opening up at this point.
How'd you score the main event, Scott? Do you do that still?
You know, my job is to promote it. My job is not to score it. You know, I know that Shlemenko clearly won the last round. It was the second round that was in question, and during the second round, I was kind of just watching as a fan, so I really didn't sit there and score the fight.
Mousasi was such a huge favorite, like 7-1, maybe pushing 8-1. I know a lot of people talk about the guys that come over and struggle when they get over here, and is that not a testament to the quality of guys that you have over here?
Yeah, you know, here's how I feel about it. Like when I owned Strikeforce, we were doing fights back in the day, we had some of the best fighters on the planet, and it was like, well, the UFC guys are better than the Strikeforce guys. And then, you know, look what happened. Tyron Woodley, you know, Luke Rockwell, Daniel Cormier. Those are all our guys, right? So it's just that people, you know, feel that when they come over here, it should be easy. But, you know, Shlemenko is a guy that had 55, 60 fights. I mean, that's going to be a guy that's dangerous, and he hits hard. He's not afraid of anybody. He was a former champion, and he brought it. So, to me, I think the people that have come over here from other leagues, they have had a hard time. And, you know, I just say, hey, welcome to Bellator. You know, this is going to be a tough going for everybody.
But was it not testament to, I'm not saying it was one eye, but was it not testament to Mousasi that he fought was 12 minutes in that fight with one eye virtually closed?
Yeah, you know, the way I look at that is that Shlemenko was trying to punch him, right? I mean, that's what he was doing. So he did the damage. So you know, to me, that fight, I thought I was going to get stopped at one point, and Shlemenko would have probably won the fight. So, you know, he punched him, he did the damage. It was something that he intended to do, and it created a lot of damage on Gegard. So, on the one hand, you can see, yeah, he couldn't see, but the reason why he couldn't see is because Shlemenko punched him, and that's just the name of the business.
But I'm asking, was it an admirable performance in that context from Mousasi?
Yeah. I mean, you know, Gegard is a tough guy, and he has a lot of perseverance. You know, he has an indomitable spirit, man. He will come back for this. I know that he's probably a little bit disappointed in his performance, but you know, to me, I thought that this fight was going to be a tough fight for him, and it was. So on to the next one.
Is that a done deal for him that he gets the next title shot? Or you have to wait because of how things played out because of the time?
Yeah, I mean, listen, he might have an orbital fracture. I'm not sure. And if he does, he's going to be out for 6-8 months, maybe a year. Who knows? So that's why we always like to come back and see how the fights unfold, see how the fights do, and then we'll go back and we'll reshuffle the deck. And that's what we'll do here. We'll wait to see what the doctors say about his eye, and then we'll make a decision at that point.
Scott, do you know how close the referee actually was to stopping the fight? I'm sorry, the doctor, because it looked like he almost waved it off as he was walking through.
Yeah, I think the doctor was really concerned, and you know, like Garrett said, that Gegard was fighting with basically one eye for 12 minutes, so it was a tough night for him. But when I looked over there and the doctor came back into the cage, I said, oh, I think they're going to stop it. But he didn't. He let him go, and I'm not sure what the dialogue was between the two. But I think he said something to him, and then I know he covered his eye, and Gegard must have been able to see what the doctor wanted him to see, and then he continued.
Did you strike to Gegard after the fight?
No, my understanding is Gegard is on his way to the hospital. Is that right? Yeah, Gegard's on his way to the hospital. So I have not talked to him since the fight ended.
Scott, on the topic of the doctors, any update on Heather Hardy?
Same situation. She's in the hospital right now.
With both her and Anna coming off losses tonight, is that a fight you'd consider down the road?
Absolutely. I mean, to me, those two girls are. It's special. It's admirable what they're doing, attempting to come over to mixed martial arts from having such a great boxing career and a boxing background. And it's not easy. It's a much different situation. You're fighting in a cage. It's not a ring. There's not it's just a different environment. And so for them, there's going to be a certain learning curve. And I think that if they wanted to fight in the future, we would definitely consider that.
On the other side of the coin, though, what's a performance tonight from Christina Williams? I don't know how much you've seen her. Many people haven't seen much of her. What did you make of her? She's a star.
I mean, when I look at her performance, she wasn't nervous. She wasn't tired. She wasn't intimidated by Heather at all. And she was there to fight, man, and she fought a tough fight. And Heather was there, you know, doing her thing, trying to catch her, and she just got out kicked tonight. I think that's what it was. Kickboxing in her system was working well, and you know, for Heather, she just got caught a couple times with those kicks, and that was it.
But as a neophyte, even though she's a neophyte of her Bellator debut, has she possibly put herself in the frame for the flyweight title going forward?
I mean, I don't think you put her in the title mix, but I mean, Gareth, I think you have to put her like she is somebody that has a lot of potential, and so we'll get her some more fights, see how she does, and then you know, we'll decide what we do.
How impressive was that to you, though, to see someone in their pro debut in front of a big crowd fighting someone who's established in combat sports, and just to be on face like that?
That's impressive. I mean, honestly, to have somebody come out and perform the way she did under this scenario, having a crowded arena, you know, live TV, and fighting Heather Hardy, I think she did herself a lot of good as far as, you know, building her brand, building her name, and building some great fights ahead for her.
Scott.
Many organizations, main event is 5 rounds. Can you talk change Bellator to add 5 round fights in the main event? Because if you have 2 more rounds,
you know, that's something that we've been really debating internally, because once we do it, we can't go back. And you know, right now, all the main events except for title fights are 3 rounds. But you're right. If this was a 5-round fight, it could have had a different outcome. So we're going to evaluate it. I'll talk internally to our guys, and then, you know, we'll keep talking about it. Because, like I said, at some point we'll probably do it. But once we do it, we're not going to be able to come back.
Scott, can you give us an update on the heavyweight title picture? I know you've been wanting to get a champion soon. What's the time frame, and where does Bobby Lashley fit in all this?
Bobby, we've been talking to him. I know he's been very busy with his kids and pro wrestling, so I'm not sure what his status is. But I think he's not going to be fighting anytime before the end of the year. The heavyweight title, I think, first quarter, maybe going into the second quarter, we'll do something big as far as having a heavyweight championship fight.
Is there any frustration about Minikov sort of just staying in Russia, not coming over? Or?
Minikov is not our champion anymore. Minikov, as far as I'm concerned, is a fighter that's under contract with Bellator. But, you know, to me, it's almost irrelevant at this point, because we have so many great heavyweights now that when we put this heavyweight, you know, title fight together, it's going to be something really special.
Any thought of doing a tournament for the heavyweight belt?
Like I said, you know, at the last fight, I'd like to crown a champion first, and then we can talk about that. But I think crowning a champion is kind of becoming clear. You know, who we're going to probably have fight. That's something that I don't want to talk that much about right now, but in the upcoming weeks, we'll probably have something for you guys.
You've been signing a lot of young kids, Tyrone Claxton, Logan Storley. 2-part question. First, is Hakeem Nwodu on the radar for Bellator? And second, when do you expect to start maybe seeing some of these kids develop into title contenders?
You know, our guys work closely with their camps, and really we let them decide when they're ready to make their debuts. Or, you know, like, for instance, if they're coming off a big collegiate wrestling background and they feel like they're ready to go, then we'll put them in there with somebody comparable. But if not, you know, we'll let them continue to develop for another 6 months, 8 months, a year, however much time they need, you know, to get to the point where they feel comfortable that they want to come here and do it. And that's been our philosophy, is that we'll be ready when they're ready.
1 or 2 more, guys.
Scott, a couple weeks ago, your TV ratings were outrageous. UFC ratings. Tell us how big that is for an organization.
I mean, I don't think that's the first time that's happened. I think this happened before. But listen, you know, we're all in the ratings business, you know, and at the end of the day, when Spike gets good ratings, it's good for everybody. It's good for us. As you guys know, next year, Spike TV is going to turn to Paramount, and I think that's going to start with the January 20th fight between Douglas Lima, our champion, at 170, fighting Roy McDonald. So that fight will be on the new Paramount network, which is, you know, Spike currently. So we got a great year ahead for next year for 2018. I'm really excited about some of the stuff we're working on. Unfortunately, I can't talk all about it, but a lot about it, but I think we're going to have some really cool stuff for the for the industry, the sport of MMA, and we're going to keep doing our part.
You've done. Last question for me. I know you and Rise have had a lot of working relationships together. Is there any talk of maybe a talent swap between Rise and you, maybe sharing fighters together?
Whether it's Ryzen or Bama or KSW, I mean, we're all good friends, and the door is always open. And when Ryzen has asked for some fighters from us, we've always sent them over, and that door has continued to be open. But right now, there's no plans to do that. Thank you, guys.